Okay, so we're going to start talking about rivets here. Rivets are a method of connecting two pieces of metal together without using any heat. Essentially, you take a piece of metal, put it in a hole, and then fatten out the ends so that that piece of metal stays stuck. So here I got a couple examples of different rivets that we're going to do in this class. On this little piece right here, we can see two of our kinds of rivets. The one right here that looks like an eyeball, that is just a regular Pylon rivet. You can see it's flared out on each end. And it was just a piece of wire that went through a hole. This one over here is a tube rivet, and that's where you drill a hole the size of your tube. You put a short piece in or section of tubing in, and then you hammer the edges to hammer and round that out. And then the last one that we're going to talk about is called a spacer rivet, and that is where you have two pieces involved. You've got a piece of tubing that acts as a spacer, and then you've got a little metal pylon that goes through these pieces of metal as well as through the middle of that tubing. So the rivet is the same size diameter wire as the interior of this tubing. So that allows us to rivet two things together, three things in this case, and create some space in between. So there are three basic types. We'll talk about them one more time. We've got our regular Pylon rivet, that's like this little eyeball here. We've got our tube rivet, which is the tube that goes through a hole. And then we've got our spacer rivets that will utilize both the pylon wire and the tube to create a rivet that connects pieces apart from each other.